Hello, everybody, and welcome to ZSR2, where tonight we have a Link to the Past No Major Glitches League. We got Chexhuman and Lanxion, and on commentary we got Dow and Anders. Take it from here, you two.
Oh, how's everybody doing tonight? Night for most people, at least.
Buddy, how you doing, Dow? What's good in the Dauberhood?
Hopefully this race.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. These two have a lot of talent in a lot of different things. They're both people who I extremely look up to and who I watch do quite a variety of things. We can have some fun facts about Lynx and and Chex. Lynx's favorite Pokemon is Scizor, while Chex's favorite Pokemon is Ditto.
Okay.
Would you believe that I said to myself this morning, Dersey, you're doing commentary, you should definitely try and make people, take you more seriously this year, and then I said that, so, yeah, it's going great so far. But yeah, this is the NMG League, which I'm super excited for. I've been watching a few of the matches when I've had a chance. And this is actually a race I'm really excited that I get to commentate because, again, it's two good friends of mine who I've watched. Chex having made a big old name for himself, especially in the glitch community. And Lynx not only is a wonderful A Link to the Past runner and Super Mario World runner, an award-winning Super Mario World runner technically, but also the first person to jump on any bandwagon that has ever existed ever.
All right, we're off to a good start to this race. These file names are exactly what you want to see.
Wow, it was like not synchronizing for me, so I was just, trying to like filler, give us some time. But yeah, those are great. Is Yoho even here?
I'm sure if he is, he'd love to be mentioned in chat by every single person.
Guys, we have to find out if Yoho's here. Follow my lead.
All right, well, I think Andrew should talk about this screen. He does have the world record in Link's house.
That is true. I am the world record holder in Exit Link's house RTA. I think I could probably by now improve my world record, but I do think it's important to say that like this is a very technical screen. You mash buttons and walk down. They both did wonderfully, not as good as me, but I'm still very proud of them both.
All right, but seriously, Escape is like, I don't know, not that interesting, and at the same time, really interesting, at least to me.
So as and this is not in a self-deprecating way, I do genuinely call myself a failed runner of this game. I actually always really like watching the escape section because while it is relatively boring, there are so many little optimizations that it's kind of a very early and easy masterclass in movement.
Yeah, so I guess we probably don't want to talk about pumping too much, but
Ain't no pumping happening this pandemic. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's got honestly, it's like super consistent. You can see Lynx there went to the wall and Chex didn't, because he wanted to get a few extra pumps in. Is basically all it was.
Yeah, but
Now-
Lynx ended up with that rough green guard RNG.
Yeah, that's the thing. Pumping will save you, a couple frames of screen, and then messing up like that loses a second. So it's like, what's more important here?
Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna come out of this probably in about the same place. Getting out of escape with, maybe a second or two lead here or there, maybe up to 5-10 seconds. But it really, to me, doesn't mean too much.
I'd be surprised if it was as large as 10 seconds, but could certainly see 5. And like on that screen right there, that's a 20 frame difference in RNG.
Now,
Which is
I don't know
like...
how to count.
But yeah, Lynx had the best RNG, and Chex had the worst RNG. And it's like, I think 20 frames difference, and it's like, you're going to see a lot of one person saves 20 frames in RNG, another person loses 20 frames in RNG. So it's like, you can't get too worked up about any one particular thing.
That is very true. Here we are at the ball and chain guard fight. Both really nice, actually.
Yeah, and the ball and chain guard is one of like 2 spots in this split where you can really get screwed up. But
they both went for the same strat, which is pretty much what I expected for this category and this point in the brackets. That green guard giving Chex a little bit of trouble, but well-placed boomerang really helped him out there.
Yeah, and we can see Lynx saved about a second in that room. Part of that was because of the RNG difference, and then part of that was also he just had a little bit better fight.
Do you expect us to see either runner take Sanctuary Heart? I have my opinion. Okay. So I'm always on the fence on whether or not I think Chex will get it. Because I'm like, oh, I mean, why would he? He's done Oko, like, low lamp, sword, no sword, all dungeons. And then I'm like, yeah, but he's not allowed to just, like, EG out of a tough situation or something. I don't even know if it's technical terms.
I think that with Sankheart, there's a lot of reasons why you don't get it, because it's just whatever. It doesn't really do anything most of the time.
It's a nice buffer to have, especially in a tournament setting like this.
But yeah, particularly for Tower of Hera and for Palace of Darkness, you really do want the 1 extra heart. And so it could save, 2 minutes if you kind of get unlucky later on in those splits. And it's only 3 seconds, and so like in a race setting, the 3 seconds probably doesn't matter, but the 2 minutes definitely does, right? So
absolutely. Also, hey, look at those rats kind of behaving. Snakes. I mean, I think that damage boost that Chex did kind of actually served him well in that situation, but I mean, I don't know the technical terms as much personally.
Chex had I'm not sure how often Chex has done that room since he's not a big NMG player, but he didn't manip the bat correctly, so it was kind of in a bad spot, and then they got him on the way out. So,
one thing about Chex is that for the numerous years that I've known him, and you've known him longer, that rat, that's unfortunate for Chex. He always is like, I'll do my yearly NMG run. This year, he's gotten, I think, 2 or 3 PPs. He's played the game a little bit more than normal, which is still, a handful of times as far as NMG goes, but yeah.
Chex is just getting beat up by all of the rats.
Rats are the true boss.
But yeah, we can see even with like them getting beat up or whatever else, there's not a big difference, only a handful of seconds between them here.
And of course, you were right. Both got Sankheart, which I kind of agreed with there, so. Ooh, Doom, you were so close there. So close. Try it again. I believe in you. Link's having a nice little walk through Octorok Park right there. And Chex too, like, risking concussion with those rocks thrown at them.
Yeah, this overworld is actually... I don't know. It's
extremely frustrating for the weirdest reasons. Ugh, that Octorok near that Armos for Chex. Yeah, I hate to see it.
Yeah, there is a strat there that you could use where you hold your sword out and then boomerang it. It's not the hardest, but it's definitely something you have to practice. So it's... Once again, I'm not sure how often Chex has done this screen, because you don't do it in glitch categories, but
Fair.
It's just one of those things that you kind of just have to practice and see it a bunch to know to do it. Eastern Palace is the last palace in the game where we're going to walk, so...
Insert my obligatory joke about, but Dow, it's a speed run, not a speed walk.
Well, we've still got about 3 minutes, but yes.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so...
Please inform you about the trials and tribulations of his... Okay, so, Sirius, let me put this in perspective for you. You're a assumedly 16-year-old boy living with his uncle who's an apple farmer in the middle of the woods in one bed. Suddenly, he passes away in a sewer and gives you a sword and tells you to save the princess, who tells you to go to a palace to talk to a man who's talking in your brain, and there's a bunch of zombies and tentacle monsters. How would you feel?
I would feel like I want to kill them all and get away as fast as I can, right?
Okay, Lanx just had me very tight right there with that extra damage he had to take from the anti-fairies. But he made it through it. Gave Chex a little time to even out there, though.
Yeah, he did pick up the heart there, which, I mean, ideally you don't get hit again until we bomb jump in Hera, but
yeah, no one ever takes accidental damage during this game, right, Tal?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things in the back of Eastern here that actually do 1 heart of damage, so just opting for a little bit of safety. Once again, choosing to lose a couple of seconds in a race so you don't lose a minute or two is not an unreasonable choice.
Absolutely understood. There's nothing worse than that moment where you decide to skip on a heart or a fairy or something to save yourself the time because you're ahead, and then you realize you would have needed that.
Yeah, so...
Great Cannonball RNG.
This room is... Oh, that is... They both got kind of...
That's unfortunate.
Not good RNG, but...
Lanx's was a little rough there.
Neither of them got arrows, which is not good. They both have a million rupees.
So now, with the rupee routing in this, I never was competent enough. Oh, very nice fight from Lanx, to be quite honest. That was very clean. Not even an extra arrow in the wall from either of them. But with the rupee routing, they're both at 26 right now. What does that mean for what's going on in their minds with how they're going to approach the rest of the run before
it means
bowls?
They don't have to think about money for the rest of the game.
Are either of them single? Because I want that for me in real life.
Alright, here we get to go fast, but we have to get through 10 text boxes. Oh, as if there's not enough mashing in this game.
Again, Dow, I do not know how to count that high. I'm a musician. I count to 4 and then repeat. Sometimes I subdivide. That being said, this first spin speed is my favorite spin speed in the damn game. Pardon my French. I just think it's so fun.
Spin speed's a neat little trick where you can kind of store your boot speed, and diagonals are actually even faster. It's pretty neat, but it does make that screen way faster.
I gotta say, shout outs to the freaking Mutsky, former runner of this game with a 127 whatever time. When I was first learning this game, I was just practicing escape through Eastern Palace for, months at a time, and I would always stop right after Eastern Palace because I could not spin speed. And I asked everyone, I asked you, I asked Greenham, I asked Josh, and I just couldn't do it. And I saw the first day of GDQ in 2020, I was hanging out with Mutt, and he's like, dude, all you do is this. And he showed me, and it changed my life, and I learned the rest of the run that week.
See, I'm kind of almost of the other opinion after having played for a while. I wish spin speed would go away. I do as few, that's not true.
Really?
I limit my spin speeds because it's a very annoying trick to mess up, which we saw Chex mix it up a little bit leaving the library. He did a technique where he didn't lose as much time, but it did cost him probably like 2 or 3 seconds. And it's just like, it's one of those things that's really irritating when you do it, even though it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, Desert's a nice one. It's nice and relaxing. Mostly, you get a lot of
very end.
You get a lot of easy dashes. You don't have to pay much attention.
Yeah, it's the first place that you really have those extended dashes where you can just move your hand, stretch a little bit, be like, okay, we're back here. But it's also still very optimized. Like, even that first entry room was very difficult for someone like me, but they just make it look so easy.
Right, so dashing movement is actually very challenging to control. If you're trying to be optimal, your dashes have to start and end frame perfectly, and like being off by even 1 frame is going to cost you basically twice that in time loss. So every time you start a dash late or end a dash early or late, you're losing a handful of frames, and it's just like
great cannonball RNG on Chex's screen. Lanx has to adjust a little bit.
It's like definitely one of the things to watch out for is how precise players' dashes are, because that's the thing that costs you the most time in the whole run. It's where your dash is starting and end.
Mm-hmm. When I would re-watch my everybody, there's a blue ball prediction up. We're looking for the total number of blue balls between the runners. If one runner throughout this league gets 15 in one run, that runner has to buy me dinner and take me on a pretty date. So get your predictions in. Sorry, I got super excited there because we have a prediction. But I think that it is a good point, because when I would look at my runs side by side with somebody who was obviously more experienced and stronger than me, that's where I bled most of my time, was in just bad movement, not dashing in the right place, and not really controlling where the little tiny Hylian boy was going.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No, he's very stubborn. He does not do what I want to. And it's definitely his fault and not mine.
But now we get to the part of Desert that is super fun and super impossible. Okay, getting backup arrows on Link's side, which are probably not necessary, but in a race situation like Moles is just like, what if I use 20 arrows and then I don't have enough later on? So it's sure.
Let's just hope that these boys get some good Landmo RNG. Missed a few on Chex's first cycle. Same with Lynx's.
Yeah, it looks like. Ooh. Yeah, Lynx's second cycle was a little bit better. This third cycle, though.
Third is not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like a 4 cycle for Chex, but I might have miscounted. Again, counting is tough for me, especially while trying to count 2 things at once.
Right, and so here's why Lynx gets the arrows. It costs you a couple seconds here. I think it's like 3. It's a little bit more than you think. It's not 3. It's less than that. But he has 10 arrows, which is enough to get through Agate Tower, and Chex has 4, which is not. So it's probably going to cost Chex more than those 2-ish seconds or however much in Agate Tower later on. Oh, getting hit by the Sandman. Yeah, and this is definitely the split where you notice Sankart the most. Because a lot of times you're on versus like 3 versus 2 or 3 versus 4 or whatever else. Alright, Chex gets the fake flippers, which is pretty easy until it's a race setting and you start thinking about it, and then it's impossible.
Literally, you either get it the first time or the 9th time. There is no in between. Okay, maybe that's just me.
And we're not going to dash with the old man because he's old. He can't keep up. Oh, Lynx forgot how many text boxes there were and used an arrow.
Oh dang, Lynxy boy. Good thing you got them extras.
And really all we want to see on Death Mountain is not getting bullied. Yeah, that was
not great, but
okay. That dead rock was a little bit concerning for Lynx, but
yeah.
we got it out. Chex gets the spin speed, and we seem to be home free. Getting past this first ladder is like the hardest part of this screen. All right, good for Lynx.
Absolutely. Proud of both our runners. Lynx taking cabbage to the face. We hate to see that.
Yeah, sometimes you just get hit on the last ladder because the game hates you. Basically.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know what would be cool? This. And it sucks.
Alright, but pretty similar overworlds for both of them. That mini Moldorm was playing some good D on the key.
Yeah, big gatekeeping energy. And now we get to see the most important room, the tile room. Our favorite auto-scroller.
I know that Chex was practicing his pot spin speed, but he realized it's a bad strat, so he's not doing it.
I don't know. His name was I Love Yoho. if my file name was I Love Yoho and I didn't do pot spin speed, well, I'm sure Yoho wouldn't love me back.
Yeah, very engaging screen.
So Dad, what's going on in your life?
Oh. I could use a nap.
Yo, same. I'm pretty tired.
Okay, Chex always makes me nervous when he walks through most of that screen with the mirror out. I think he's gonna
same.
win.
Same.
But we got the big key. We're out. Okay.
I feel like Sirius is the equivalent of like an astrology person, but with that room, with tile room. It's like he talks to you for like 2 seconds. He's like, I can tell that you're a left corner tile room. With maybe a pot speed rising.
All right. Yep. And we're up to our first bomb jump. This one is the easiest. Yeah, it's just easiest.
It absolutely is.
Pulls them through, and here's where we see Sankar is good. If Lynx was on 1 heart here, I'd be feeling so much worse.
Meanwhile, Check's heading up into the evil burger.
Oh, okay.
Oh, goodness. Are these runners trying to, like, hurt us?
Alright, it's 6 hits to kill Moldorm. Link's taking it a bit safe-ish because of his health situation, I guess. One of the kind of interesting things about Moldorm, now that they're both through it, you don't actually want to be safe in this fight. Because then you just kind of let Moldorm do his own thing. You have to be really aggressive and just finish the fight. Honestly, that's true of a lot of things in this game. Just do it. Don't wait for stuff to happen or anything like that. The slower it is, the worse it is. Like, you just compound the issue, so.
I mean, honestly, wonderful advice. Take that to heart, kids.
Okay, so Chex is opting for those arrows, which makes sense. I think those are pretty comparable to the pre-landal ones. I forget my times exactly, but both those and the pre-landal ones are pretty bad. So here they pull a tree. We're going to need to kill 4 enemies to pull the next tree, which is going to give them 80 more rupees. We need, what, 100? Oh, Chex got hit. That is... Let's hope he knows the backups.
Yeah.
Well, I believe Chex did shoot the pickle, so he just shot it from the side. So this Ruby route saves somewhere between like 4 to 6 seconds. When you mess it up like that, or rather when you get hit, which kind of sucks, you're losing all that time. Even with like really good backups, you just lose all that time that you were trying to save. So Chex will need to kill an additional 4 enemies, but not until he's pulled the tree. So from this point, he needs to kill 4 more enemies. Now, Lynx will have all the rupees he needs. Hopefully Chex knows the backup. You just nudge this tree over here, and then you... Okay, that works too. And then this green guy will always go to the right, and so you can dash right through him really easy.
I didn't know that.
And then this should be 4, dash up on the right side, and it's a bit of a slower path, but it's a little bit safer.
Ooh, that lag from that,
yeah. Big reason why that's rough. And we can see Lynx was a little bit behind, and now he's a little bit ahead.
Hey, but you know what they say, light world doesn't matter.
It's true, because we're about to get hit with Aghanim, who can cost us anywhere from no time to 2 minutes. So... Oh, Chex not quite knowing the backup for that room. Oh, Lynx gets hit, and we see the heart drop. That's not good.
No. Chex makes it through without, though. So fairy skip is assumedly... Well, hold on. Yeah, still...
He should be fine.
Yeah.
There is an opportunity, technically, for him to lose it, but it's not going to happen, I don't think.
As much as I hate to do it, I have to point out the fact that Chex just... Or not Chex, Lynx just tried to chest turn and instead grabbed a railing before opening the chest in Dark Maze.
Dark Maze beat up both of them. That room...
It's mean.
It's mean.
Not really much else to say other than, yeah, it sucks.
Oh, Chex needs... Or hopefully we'll know that for next time. That particular RNG, you don't want to slash the guard. You can just walk by him. It's like super sketchy to do so, but it'll work. Guaranteed. Okay, Chex actually is still short one arrow. We do want to have one leaving this, well, going into this next room, so we can have 6 leaving. Chex gets the nice RNG, Lanx gets the tough one. Just stun the guard a little bit late, which makes it a lot harder to deal with. Chex goes for the dash, gets hit. I don't know enough about those RNGs to say anything about it. I just don't go for it.
Yeah, I'm the same. Gosh, but how cool would it be if I was just like, actually, Dow, what they do here is, and I knew the strat and how to read the RNG. That'd be pretty cool. So anyway, we're gonna go fight Aga now. It's RNG time, baby.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I literally don't pay any attention in this fight. It's just... whatever, you spin the balls and you get lucky or you don't. Like...
Yeah, I'm trying to keep track of them at least. 2 for Lanx, 1 for Chex in round 1.
Oh, Chex is being slightly suboptimal by not spinning Aga towards the middle of the room. Or being prescient and spinning Aga to the spot that he's going to warp to.
Chex getting out with just 1 blue ball. Lanx, unfortunately, already at 4. Unless I don't know how to count, which is also possible.
Yeah, and so the thing about this fight is like... yeah, you lose a million years. Yeah, it sucks. But with that said, there is just so much time to save in Dark World. That's a lot of blue balls. For basically every player on the planet, that it doesn't matter.
Hey now, my very hard to beat PB in this category had 7 blue balls.
Okay, so I think Lynx had 7 there. Chex had...
Chex had 1.
Oh,
7, 1.
wait. Did Chex have 3? Wait, what in the world?
Chex had 1.
Oh no, Chex doesn't... I'm looking at his splits, but Chex doesn't split his blue balls in his tower. Yeah, 7 to 1 is pretty bad. It's about a 50-second difference. So it's a lot of time to make up.
We still have about an hour left, though, so...
Yeah, and even just this split here, failing hammer jump once is 15 to 20 seconds already, so there's a lot of things that can just 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there, and then 20 seconds for something. And a lot of those 20-second time losses are things that are not easy. So, yeah, plenty of opportunity to make it back. We'll just have to see. And then there's like so much RNG in this game. Maybe Lynx just saves 10 frames in every room because he gets better RNG.
Very possible. I will say that I feel like the front half of this dungeon up through, Hammer Yump is pretty reasonable and sensible to me.
Mostly. It's got some pretty tough stuff. Okay. Those arrows are really slow. But Check's getting the bomb there. I imagine he's going to skip the second bomb at Hammer Jump. I don't know if he normally gets that one anyway. Which is like technically the fastest bomb to get, but it's also one of the sketchiest bombs to get. So, getting hit by the shooter there, that's an odd occurrence. Chex is... No, okay.
That made me very nervous.
Nope. Okay,
Buddy.
Pod is tough because you do the same room like 14 times.
Yeah, it's one of those Zelda dungeons that has just a main hub room and you revisit it so many times.
So, okay. That hard drop that Chex got is where we're hoping to not see a fairy on Lynx's side.
Agreed. But I will say that was a very nice hammer jump from Chex. Textbook, honestly.
Yeah, he's just... We had the 2 blue ball pod, things happened. It's okay. This looks... Oh, there we go. That looks good for Lynx.
I've always found Chex, and you can totally disagree with me because you see a lot of things that I don't see. That I've always felt like Chex is a very analytical speedrunner, whereas Lynx is very reactionary. So it's been really interesting to see how they respond to different RNGs here.
Yeah, I think Chex does think about stuff a lot, but because he has a lot of experience with other categories especially, so he does a lot of backups and stuff that you won't see other players do.
I really hope he's not listening because I can see his camera and he just gave the biggest smile to the camera and I'm like, oh no. No.
Sometimes his backups are really good and sometimes they're really slow. But they always work is the thing. So, luckily we got the arrow drop for Lynx's side. And the arrow difference... Chex has just wasted a couple of extra ones.
Yeah, he has.
And that's really all it boils down to. The arrow difference probably won't matter.
I hate the way that you said that. I hate it.
Probably. Alright, so this helmet fight is is probably the biggest reason to get Sank Heart. We really don't want to see fireballs. The reason why we don't want to see fireballs is because A, they're more dangerous, but B, they make Helma move sooner, which means it's harder to kill him. So Chex got no fireballs, which is exactly what you want to see. Pretty good walks and a pretty good fight. That's hoping for the same on Lynx's side.
Absolutely. We've gushed a little bit about Chex's consistency, but Lynx is always very good at rolling with the punches. Yeah, that's what I have to say there.
Yep, and we're seeing a pretty good fight here as well so far. No fireballs, please. There you go, excellent.
Oh, and... love it. That's beautiful. I really do love the spin speed Helma strat, because when I was first learning, that wasn't really a thing. And it just makes me really happy because I like it a lot.
Anything to make that fight easier. More consistent.
It definitely, when you get it, it works really well. And yes, they do have the same PB.
Yeah, so Chex had the 2 blue ball pod, and Lynx had the 1 blue ball pod. So definitely making up time there. And it like, I don't know, 50 seconds feels like a lot, and then you kind of look at it and you're like, it's like one screen. It's a handful of screens. And it doesn't take much. Okay, good. Chex gets the item dash there. That screen sucks if you miss the item dash. But this, yeah, this overworld is, I think it's my favorite.
Actually, same. I spent a couple of hours one day just learning it and having Greenham teach me some intricacies, and it really made a big difference.
Lynx recognizes that he needs to do an item dash, but does it in the wrong spot. So got through, didn't get hit. I think this overworld is the most fun one to really try to push your times down. It's just like
It feels like it has everything. You have quick warps, you have spin speeds, you have dashes, you have item dashes, you have you have everything.
And what it doesn't have is Boulder and Deadrock RNG. So it's huge. But yeah, this is activate the flute, whatever. We will use it a few times. We really try not to, because menuing in this game is really slow. The menu is actually pretty responsive, and you just have to get a little bit used to it, because you can't do like diagonals or anything. But we really want to avoid menuing as much as we can. Each menu is like 70 or 80 frames. Well, technically each menu is 64, but no person's getting 64 frame menus, so.
Second try there on the hammer dash from Chex, but he made it.
Yeah, what Doomtap says too. You have to be kind of on top of it, but Link's taking that screen.
It's really funny that what Doom just said was really actually very smart, but if you read it outside of the context of A Link to the Past, it sounds like the dumbest thing in the world.
I don't know that it sounds that dumb. All right.
If you press a direction, you have to release that direction before pressing another direction. Like, if you were telling me about that, like, in terms of, like, driving or something, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? But here he's exactly right. I'm sorry, I'm back on track. You were saying.
Well, one thing is getting through this Thieves Town Big Key door is one of the few global times I remember learning. And you want to do it sub 40 minutes to be on, like, pretty solid pace here. Chex was a little over 40 minutes, which is totally reasonable. It's definitely hard to just, put up a random run and get an excellent time. Which both of these runners are doing pretty solid. Nothing too bad has happened, which is really all you can ask for. And I also find Thieves Town to be one of the most consistent splits. It's the split I have died in the least.
Well, it has a scripted boss fight. Ooh, Link's getting a little bit bullied in the heck way.
Yeah, there's definitely a few things that can go wrong, like the Hellway there, or these crickets in the attic. But for the most part, this split is just you pressing the buttons. All there is to it. So it's always Always a fun one.
Those crickets are the final boss, honestly. If you get on their bad side, they will come for you, and you will not survive.
Yeah, and so Chex is rescuing definitely not Zelda for the second time this game.
Well, how could that be Zelda when he's saving the princess?
They're all named Zelda. That's the rule.
Damn, I didn't even know.
I think it's a law in Hyrule or something. And here we have the scripted boss fight, which is... I mean, sure, it's scripted, but are we going to kill blind in the light or out of the light? And that is out of the light. That's a pretty good fight. You can actually kill blind further than left than that, but I think you need beams.
Don't beams kind of make it a little bit harder to do the fight?
No, beams make that fight a lot easier, actually. It's about the only point in the entire game where beams make it easier.
Wow.
But yeah, in upcoming Skull Woods here, we're actually going to want to lose beams, which we'll do by bomb jumping. So, yeah. It's our third bomb jump of the run, actually. Links. Okay, if you're gonna get hit by the fireballs. They only do 1 heart. The head does 2, but we're living.
Lynx is just out here trying to make sure that we're paying attention.
It's just a blue ball and a half, Thieves Town. Nothing. Nothing too big.
Since when does the NMG community measure everything in balls, and why wasn't this while I was involved? Sorry.
But yes, on check the screen, we're getting our money here and getting our sword. And then we're not quite good on extra stuff for the rest of the game, but pretty close. If anybody here has done a low percent run, they'll know that the Tempered Sword is the greatest item that's ever been made in any video game. It's just the best weapon in any video game that's ever been made. The Master Sword does no damage, and you can't do any quick kills. Every boss takes an eternity. And with Tempered Sword, things just die, and it's great. And Chex gets the Fence Dash, huge.
We do love that fence dash. There was a period of time where I knew how to do that fence dash, and I was really proud of myself. Then one day I forgot and never remembered.
Left plus A. Just same frame, left plus A input. Which, it seems like it'd be easy to press two buttons on the same frame.
Very tough.
The problem is you're doing it with 2 hands. It's impossible. You gotta coordinate 2 hands to do the same thing at the same time. Can't be done. This mummy room, okay. That was...
one of the worst rooms in the game.
And Lynx also gets the Fence Dash.
That's my boy. Look at them. So proud of them.
As long as the mummies mostly behave, it's alright. And they mostly behaved. Alright, Chex messed up the screen a little bit, and so as a result, took it a little bit safe. Which, yeah, we have a reasonable amount of health here, but also things start to hurt and do 2 hearts.
You want to go into, in my opinion, Mothula with as much health as you can.
Yeah, for them that's going to be 7 hearts presumably. That mummy is always in the way. Even though it just wasn't in the way on Chex's side, it's still always in the way. But yeah, Moth does 2 hearts, so extra health's really good. Hopefully Moth dies before Moth has a chance to attack. That's the hope. And there the intentional damage is taken, so you can just walk past that Ropa. Otherwise you'd have to slash, and it loses time. Plus it's also just faster on the screen itself.
Honestly, when you get into the back of this dungeon, Skull Woods, everything is quick. Everything is very precise to get where you need without taking damage. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about it.
This Moth fight is... the conveyor is not cooperating.
It is not. Oh, there we go, Chex. He's smiling. I'm happy too.
A lot of that is that Chex missed the initial double poke, which is like not super precise, but more precise than it looks. It's pretty easy not to get it. And then the conveyor just didn't cooperate, so Moth kind of like was always just a little too far away. Yeah, and we did see Chex got hit, twice in the fight? It's not so bad.
Yep.
But I think that should have just been 1 hit. Alright. And
this boss is so mean.
This is another boss where you really just want to go for it.
You can't wait. You just have to go. The longer you wait, the more chaotic it gets. Lynx makes it out of there. I'm a little sweaty. I don't know about you, Dow.
I wouldn't have been nervous until he got hit again. The problem with taking that fight slow is you just give Moth an opportunity to attack, which is not where you want to be, because then you're avoiding extra attacks. And then the spikes start coming out. It just gets to be a lot.
So ideally, how many spikes are missing at the end of that fight if you do it
0.
optimally? Okay.
A really good fight will only have 1 missing, though, which is what you're hoping for in a run, basically. A lot of times, if 1 spike... Oh, that was a high jump from the Ropa. If only 1 spike moves, then depending on which spike it is, you can actually save a little bit of time, because you can grab the heart sooner, which... is what you're waiting on in a fast fight.
So, fun fact about that Ropa we were just talking about. I actually had a bit of a panic attack with that Ropa, because I found out that if that Ropa jumps into you on a certain frame at a certain angle, it can poke you into the wall.
Sure can.
And I was like, but what if I PB? It won't count, because I did a glitch.
For those wondering, as long as that particular glitch does not give you an advantage, it's not an issue. It's really hard for that particular one to give you an advantage.
Absolutely. So. I do want to say Chex also might be a little sweaty. He did decide to take a little dip in Lake Hylia. Only 1, though, so far.
All them going for the Louis Dash, which loses time, but guarantees that you don't take damage on that screen, which that is unfortunate on Lynx's side. To be honest, I don't know how he got hit. I don't know why the shield didn't block that.
Same, actually.
Alright, so we do want beams for the second room of Ice Palace. It is very helpful. We don't necessarily need beams for that room, but it's nice. The one room we do want beams for is the room just before Ice Pal's bomb jump. It saves in a billion years.
Lynx, also a little sweaty, took a dip in the exact same place I think the Chex did.
That Zora screen is... Oh, Chex. I didn't have his audio on, so I don't know if he floated correctly or not. That extra fire rod shot won't cost anything other than a little bit of time. So it's not a big deal, but it does suck. That Zol that almost hit Chex, it feels like it should hit you, and it never does. Like...
Okay, you say never. I say, how? How did it hit me? Why is it always me?
Okay, so Chex is coming up on... Oh, that is not good. Okay, so we are going to get a bomb on this screen. So
I'm in danger.
But then we'll need to get a bomb from the Stalfos Knights, which is going to slow us down a fair bit. This is for the bomb jump coming up, which we really do want to see first try. Yeah, big reason why beam save time in that room is so you can just beam the jelly. A lot of times they spark, get in your way. It's pretty annoying.
Looks perfect. He's got it.
Yeah, that's
very nice Chex.
You're gonna come to this room a lot of times with only one bomb, so most runners are really well practiced in it. It's not easy. There's a got the last penguin with that spin. That was
maybe
really
nervous
close.
for a second. It was very close.
But yeah, Lynx has an opportunity to make up some time here. Can save a couple menus and do the rooms nicely. That's a pretty good room on Lynx's side. Let's check out this
Very
bomb
solid.
jump. That looks
One
good.
extra buffer, but it's good, yeah.
I think he might have had it actually the first time, but he just didn't trust it.
It was a little sus to me. Though I'm still measuring it based on the pixels of Link's ear, which I know is wrong compared to what you guys do. Lovely cold fight by Chex.
Yeah, these last few boss fights, with the exception of the Swamp Palace boss, whose name I can't remember,
we're professional commentators, Argus.
That one, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Are all easy until you die. So
I have never thought that Cold Stare was easy.
yeah, so all we really want to see is not dying. Hopefully doing it fast, just like Chex just did, because it feels good. But
Alright, Lynxy baby, show us what you got.
that, yeah, easy fight. Easy fight. So yeah, Chex is about one cutscene ahead. That's like not quite a minute.
Yeah, it's 50 something maybe.
Let's see. Chex is going to... Well, he can't get Ice Rod here anyway, even if he wanted to. But going to get probably everything in Meyer. I just watched him last night. You'd think I would remember.
Yo, I watch Chex almost every night and I don't remember, but yeah, he does do all Meyer.
If I remember right, Lanx does not do all Meyer.
I believe you are correct. I believe he splits.
So they're going to look more spread out than they actually are. I guess I'm just going to see where he flew. He flew into 1, so we're getting ether. Yeah, so this gap is going to look quite big because this is like a roughly a 55-second detour that Lynx is going on. We will be synced up, definitely, by the time we enter Turtle Rock, but possibly by the time we get to Mire. Maybe. I don't know. If you're doing ether here, you should not do Ice Rod and Mire. Is all I know. Blaine is advocating for a 14-minute long swamp by doing literally everything in here, including swamp twice, just because he loves the split so much. That is a mean fire snake. You just gotta shrug your shoulders. Whatever. It's gonna hit you. Whatever.
Alright, now Dow, while we go through this dungeon with both of our gamers, I'm gonna need you to spend about 1.5 minutes composing a haiku about Swamp Palace.
I can't think in syllables.
That seems like a you problem.
It most certainly is. Swamp is... I don't know, man. It's one of those dungeons, you're like, oh, this is easy, and then you're like, wait, why am I losing 20 seconds?
Pat, was I the only one who, when Dow went, swamp is, started counting syllables? Because I did. It was not 5.
Oh, Lynx slashed at the red guy. Please don't do that. Because he's going to throw bones, and it's going to mess you up. And now he's jumping, and it sucks.
It's not nice. Chex also got hit by one of the fireballs while he fell down, which is one of my big pet peeves about this game. You shouldn't do that.
I think that's only happens on this version of the game we run on, though.
I didn't know that.
Which they run on the Japanese 1.0 version.
Thank you, Fox, for this wonderful addition.
Yeah, Swamp
And the
is
easy
just
mob,
like...
yeah.
Even just like... There's just this dungeon, you just get beat up. Like... They're both missing a few hearts. Like, theoretically, you don't get hit in this dungeon, but...
Is everyone in the league playing on the same version?
I assume so. I would be
the NMG tournament. We had a few people on English or other versions.
Right. I would be amazed if they weren't, because playing in Japanese, the text saves 60 or 70 seconds. I forget. And then the glitches available in 1.0, which is mostly spin speed and... Well, now I can't remember. Torch glitch might be on other versions too. Oh, Lynx dodges the fireball. He's quite a few more, actually. I think it's about 90 seconds saved for being on Japanese 1.0 versus, say, American 1.2. Chex got the 0 cycle, but just a little bit too slow, so Argus said no. Check's not opting to Fire Rod, which means you really should kill Argus at the top of the screen if you're not going to Fire Rod.
You know, I did say I would take a drink anytime anyone asked if it was rando or not, and they were serious. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So, Dow, entertain the people while I go mix myself a drink.
And we see the first really bad crystal catch of the run, which costs Chex all of 3 or 4 frames. But yeah, the Zero Cycle Argus is honestly the worst. It's so much fun. And then you just get cheated out of not getting it. So hopefully Lynx gets it, can show it off. Chex almost had it. Oh, I didn't check their arrow count. Chex is actually short arrows. Lynx will also be short arrows. Lynx is short by 1. Chex is short by 4. Oh, okay. That dead rock almost blocked the way. Otherwise, good dead mountain. And this is the reason why I like to do Ether after, because you can hook climb. Not getting the Zero Cycle. Ooh, this is not where you want to be. Okay, that was just a Fire Rod, so we're gonna need another spin here. Okay, well, normally you don't think Sinkheart's saving the run in Swamp, but here we are. Shoutouts to Sinkheart, by the way. And based off these split times on Lynx, I am assuming he does not get Ice Rod. Oh, that is a guard. This is actually going to look a little bit closer than it is for this split right here. Oh my god, the Swamp Crystal, they talk for 55 seconds. It feels like 4 years. She's still talking? And it did appear that Chex had set up the spooky glitch correctly. So we'll see that in this dungeon. And we're happy to see Chex on full health going into the dungeon. Mostly for this very second room right here, which is really fun. It's pretty tight, not amazingly so, to do this. And yeah, Chex opting for the slightly slower because you have to deal with the Popo last, and so you let the Popo kind of walk around a little bit. But gets through it easily. Hopefully Lynx gets a nice room like that too.
He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a vodka drink. Hi, I'm back.
At the same time?
I'm not a monster, Dow. Nice room by Lynx.
Yeah, Lynx went for the fast version of that, which is like 20 frames faster. And yeah, we are going to intentionally take a lot of damage in this dungeon. So we really do want every single heart that we have. With Sank, it's not quite as important, but it is still something that's on their minds, I'm sure. And I think this is the first part of the game where the enemies in dungeons start doing 4 hearts. Cold Stare has already done 4 hearts, potentially, but the slugs do 4 hearts now. So, and so do the Wizrobes, actually.
Everything
so
hits
really
like a ton of bricks.
don't want to get hit.
Yeah, that was always one of my frustrations about this run, is that we couldn't get blue mail, because for a baby like me, it would have made my life a little bit better. Just to like go back to Ice Parlance and get the blue mail.
Yeah, one of the problems with blue mail though is that a lot of the 4 heart things only get cut to 3 hearts, so it's like not doing that much for you, and also it does not affect spike damage or other hazard damage. So we are going to take 7 or 8 hearts of intentional damage in that way. We can see Chex take the first of it here. And so blue mail just ends up being pretty slow, but it's not exactly where you want to be either. So, or it doesn't save us from things that matter a lot of times. And there we see Chex putting his boots dashed us down, and that should keep the glitch active. Oh,
This
there we go.
glitch,
I love it.
it was one of the biggest things that I could never wrap my head around, or my hand. I don't know. I'm one of those learners where, like, if I can't see it, I have trouble comprehending it.
Right, and it's mostly a glitch in the way that things are, basically the way the game handles things. Yeah, Link's kicked up dust twice, so he was fine.
Attaboy, Lanxy. Okay, so now I'm realizing that Chex is listening to us, or at least watching chat, and so he's heard everything I've said. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Chex. Have people gotten hit by Freezors? I did not know they did 4 hearts. I'm sure somebody's been hit by a Freezor. Something dumb happens in the first room of ice and you stop paying attention and then you get shot by that guy.
So, about this boss was actually taught to me by Lanxion, and you want to know what he said? And now, this was GDQ and he was drunk. So you walk up here and you pull out your sword and you go, alright, and that's all there is.
I hope he's listening, because
surprisingly, I did not learn it very well from that.
We did not get the 0 cycle either, so... Alright, and so here... Yeah, this is about a minute and a half, minute 40 difference. Lynx has to get the ice rod still.
While we do our shopping, do we want to do trivia until someone enters the Turtle Rock? I do have one prepared if you want it.
Well, we've got about 40 seconds, so...
Alrighty then, here we go. So in The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, one of the bosses, particularly the boss of the Forbidden Woods, is named Khalid Demos. Apologies for pronunciation. This boss has 3 methods in which it can be killed by: the sword, the boomerang, and then one secret weakness that one-shots the boss. What is that? Your time begins now.
I have a guess, but let's let chat get their answers in first, because they're all experts and they can prove me wrong.
Chat knows everything. And Scandalous Nabs has it correct. It is the forest water. If you pour forest water on the bulb, the boss will die instantly.
I definitely thought it was bombs.
The forest gamer bath water.
Oh, these dead rocks are in the way. Okay, so actually, This lead is not quite a minute 30.
No, it's about a minute 50.
No, it's less than that.
Yeah, a minute.
Somebody, that is
Chex, my
so
boy.
mean. That is unbelievable. Chex is intentionally not slashing that guy, by the way, because if you slash and then the jelly sparks, you get knocked off the platform. So...
Not mind the gap. Malmo, please.
That is... You know, I like to say the Troll Rock is an auto-scroller, except for it's also impossible. And
The
that's
tricks
just one of
that
those
you
things.
people do in here are incredible to me. I've never gotten roller room skip. I've barely ever gotten the hook off of the 4 lamps. I mean, this is really... When you compare this dungeon and Ice Palace specifically, and, you know, GT, with how a casual would do them, it's incredible.
Alright, we're hoping to see Chomps kill exactly 0 people in the entire tournament.
Lanxion taking those nice sword beams and using those to avoid Chex's similar fate.
Yeah. Too late. I didn't see it, it didn't happen, okay?
Oh no, poor Yoho.
Oh, Link's just a little bit early on that hook, and so he gets hit
Yeah.
for it.
That hook is hard though, I mean, let me tell you, and he has to play it safe here because of it. Because if Chomps goes wrong, we're in a not great space.
Definitely should have just mirrored out, though.
Yeah, I think that would have saved him a little bit.
That's the heart, right, that Link's got? I turned away for a second, but... I didn't see... I thought he had the fairy steal. Maybe I just was not paying attention.
I think you're right, but that might have been while I was making my drink, so...
He
hey,
does.
A fairy, attaboy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Link's pivoting. Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, this RNG.
That was so brutal.
My boy, you got this. He's got this. He's fine.
The big issue there was the Chomp ate the first block, so we couldn't even, like, push the stuff. This is just like... Both of them are actually going to be short magic. Chex did get the drop, but didn't pick it up. Well, I guess if you slash the beetle, you won't be short magic, but... This room is... Oh, that's a little bit slow. I think Chex actually had good enough movement there that he wouldn't have taken damage, but... Played it a bit safe. Oh boy. Things happened on Link's side. Sure. Sure. He's got the magic, he's fine. Oh, I thought that might have been a touch too high for Chex, but he knows better than I do. Gets through laser skip nicely. Okay, solid room. Alright, Chex is fine. Oh, he's not fine. He even uses the pot, and it's not fine. Oh, Link's got caught up on the corner there. I think he was still going to be just a touch slow, but he's got plenty of health still. Trinex. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. I always get a little bit nervous on Trinex whenever it goes even just the littlest bit off the rails, because then the ice head puts ice on the floor. We didn't get that here, so we're in good shape. Nice double spin, easy slash. See ya, Trinex. Okay, No problems with laser skip there.
I forgot I was.
Uh-oh.
I'm nervous.
It's not what you want to see. Luckily, Trinex does either 1 or 4 hearts of damage, so 2 health is just like 3 health.
You are correct. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. I will say that, as we talk about, Lynx was playing too much Pokemon Showdown, Lynx is involved in the infamous Gym Leader Challenge, in which he is learning some competitive Pokemon strategies. That's right, ladies and gents, he is multi-talented. Attaboy, Lynx. You got this. We're not going to lie about Lanxion's birthday. I know when Lanxion's birthday is. It is June the 15th.
No, it's tomorrow.
I hate you all. As, one of the people in the community who does his best to try and make sure everyone feels special on their day of birth, I hate you all. I know, a majority of, at least the people who I'm close with, their birthdays, and, except for Dow, because whenever I ask him, he goes, "It's not any of your business." Which, I mean, he's right. Yeah, so anyway, we're in Ganon's Tower.
Ganon's Tower is... It would be fun if it wasn't the last split. That's all.
I think it is the most fun dungeon. There's so much to do.
It is a great split. It's a fantastic split. But you're on PB pace, and it's the hardest split. Good luck. Luckily, neither of them are on PB pace, so there's nothing to be nervous about. Which means we're going to see a 645 GT out of both of them right here.
Absolutely. Okay. It's gonna happen. So, I mean, I've mentioned this is my favorite dungeon. What do you think is your favorite dungeon in the game to run?
Oh, it's definitely this one.
That seems to be, the major consensus. There aren't very many people who are like, I love the Tower of Hera. This is the point where someone in chat's like, excuse me, that's my favorite dungeon, and you're fired. And
here we're gonna Chex is short and arrow, and he does not realize it.
Oh no.
Okay. All that's gonna do is make this fight take longer. Which means the Ganon fight could be funny.
This is true. Chex has had some notoriously funny Armos 2 fights. So,
Oh, I was going to say, well, he kept beams, which makes it actually a lot faster, and it was almost, but then the 12th beam was just slightly too early.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was slow enough to affect the arc variable. I think so. Unfortunately. I think it was just slow enough. So the Ganon fight has the potential to be not good. Okay, solid mimics from Chex. It does have to be pretty slow, but you only have to get to the part where they stop no, you have to get to the part where they start rotating again, I think, right?
Yes.
But you have to keep in mind, it's not just the fight itself. It's as long as you're in the super tile, which you are still when you come up to this room up here. So, yeah, it's pretty slow, but it's not as slow as you think, basically.
Red Stalfos in Gauntlet 1 was not very kind to Chex right there.
Yeah, Gauntlet is just there's a lot of RNG, a lot to react to. It's really fun.
It's almost like that's why it's called Gauntlet. I'm learning.
But yeah, gets through it pretty nicely. No catastrophe. Oh.
Ooh, I'm okay, we're good.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Did he get both of them?
Extra?
Oh, that's funny. They both spawned on top of each other. That's pretty good. So yeah, the magic situation here matters a little bit. We're trying to basically conserve enough magic to be able to use the fire rod and torches. So Chex picked up a spare magic pot to be able to do so.
Lank's a little bit low on the last enemy in Gauntlet 1, had to double back, and decided to double back for a heart in Gauntlet 2.
Okay. Gauntlet 4 is not hard, but it's the one you kind of think about the most.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Check's taking an extra bonk and missing the magic.
Okay, so it's good that bonk is like just slow enough to make a glitch happen, but Chex was even slower than that, so we didn't get the glitch, which means we're in great shape.
A very nice Landmo too from Lanx, very textbook, so we love to see it.
Chex already has a key, does not need this one, but does need the magic.
Moldworm 2, let's see if he gets hold again. Not that he did, but he almost did. He didn't. I'm proud of him.
And now we get the Aghanim 2 fight. This fight is... Well, I guess we gotta get past this room first. This fight sucks. It's so hard.
It is so hard. And it's all about angles and placement and thinking ahead. And it's just hard.
You can 3-cycle this boss, like, not quite literally 100% of the time, but basically 100% of the time. And,
I think that counted as 3.
That was 2, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so
yeah, you're right.
This will be a pretty easy pattern for 3, unless... Okay, alright.
Okay, he got the 3 cycle.
We did get it. But yeah, you should... Anytime you get less than 3, you're like, what was I supposed to have... Or more than 3 cycles, like, what could I have possibly done? But yeah, something's like basically always possible to get a 3 cycle there. It's just really hard.
Again, as someone with a math deficiency, I have a lot of trouble keeping track of all 3 of the Aghanims and placing myself in the proper position to create a good angle. So it's always nice to see it done well. Let's pay some close attention to Chex during this Ganon fight. Make sure that we were right about his fire bats.
I looked away because honestly, phase 1 and 2 are kind of the same. His arc variable didn't change. Okay,
yeah, it seems like it's fine.
He was alright. That's good.
Yeah, we love that for him.
Lanx, I believe, is getting a 4 cycle, but I turned away.
Yeah, it's a 4, I believe. Brain. I don't know how to count.
Chex on to phase 4 here.
Blue Piggy
gets fire.
Missed it. Just
what's
barely.
This thing called? Torch glitch. All right,
torch
that
glitch.
One. Which is
missed
huge.
That first hit because of the placement, unfortunately.
Missing some spins, which is a little bit rough, but he has a pretty big advantage here. So
he's usually pretty good about being patient with this final phase. So get those GGs ready in chat. We will have a gamer walking through that door anytime now.
We have a couple more spins to get here, but
Yeah, a few.
Okay, we got him. All right.
Very lovely. Love to see a little blown up piggy. Meanwhile, Lanx is over here working his booty off on that third phase, if I know how to count. Yes, get those GGs in chat. Never GG before the bridge. A very good point, but we're past the bridge now, so GGs.
Yeah.
With an official time of 1:26:41, which is only a little over a minute past both these runners' PBs. Oh, Lanxy boy misses the torch glitch just barely.
Yeah, so we need 12 spins, and after missing torch glitch, it's really hard to get more than 2 spins in a cycle here.
Yeah, especially when he's high like that.
It's going to take a little bit longer here. Lynx is clearly out of practice with when this fight goes sour, which is good. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see it very often, but you can always get 2 spins by kind of waiting to light it till Gannon gets to the bottom here, which looks like we're doing now. Oh, he got a little bit nervous, I think, about where Gannon
did too,
popped
actually.
over. Yeah, so this fight, it's pretty hard normally, and then this happens, and you just kind of don't want to play the game anymore. So you just stop paying attention, and it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Understandably. But I think he's getting close. This should be it. Oh, no. A couple more.
I lost track.
I think he's very close. Yeah, there it is. Get those big GGs in chat for our friend Lanxion, who gave us a great run today. His brain melted, apparently.
Understandable.
I think my brain melted a little bit, too. And hello, I believe we are joined by Chexhuman. Congratulations, Chex. GG's. What a game.
GG.
So, first thing I want to ask you about is what was going on in your head when trying to hit the switch with the arrow in Palace of Darkness?
Well, the first time around, nothing. Because obviously I approached it like I was on the second round through. So then just had to figure out why I passed, why the chest was closed, basically. Like, that chest is not supposed to be closed. And then had to figure it out from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. But a really, really solid run. 1 blue ball. We love to see that.
Thanks.
And we're also joined by Lanxion. Lanx, GG's. Thank you for a wonderful run.
GG, thanks.
Oh boy, I was muted. Sorry. GG, thank you. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
So, Lanx, walk us through a few things other than that atrocious blue ball luck.
I'm glad that blue ball luck was not the problem here, but that, like, I don't know. I'm still shaking some rust off from a long time ago, so.
You're a busy boy.
Yeah.
Got things going on. Got to play some Pokemon. Got to do some Zelda.
No, it was solid. I thought the run was kind of fine. I made the conscious effort to make a lot of safe decisions throughout the whole race. So my boss fights weren't so great at the end of the fight, and then I made a lot of safe decisions that ended up kind of kicking my butt. So, and then my Ganon fight was weird. I had a brain fart. I shot my fire rod when he teleported. I had to do the torch glitch first. So no, but Chex had a pretty good run. It was solid.
That was not the
Yeah.
only surprise fire rod shot that we saw, circling back to Chex's Lanmo 2.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I loved it. He killed the last worm on Lanmo 2, and then for good measure, as it died, he shot the fire rod into the wall.
Yeah.
Just waste some magic.
It worked out in the end.
I just expected to not be able to see where the second worm was going, so just thought it was still alive and had to shoot toward the explosions.
What it looked like to me was, well, I didn't realize they spawned right on top of each other. I saw the two things, but I thought they spawned at separate times, so I didn't think the spin would get both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, as much as I rag on YouTube, there were some really amazing moments in this run.
It felt like Chex and I were like just kind of bumbling through this run, and then just had like glimmers of like greatness every once in a while. Sometimes it feels good, but
All you need are those glimmers of greatness, and that's what people are gonna remember.
oh, Chex, have you been playing NMG, or have you been doing mostly other categories?
Mostly other categories, and this is my 4th D-Rust run, I believe.
Okay. I think we're about the same spot for de-resting, so
Yeah.
that was a fine run, I think, for both of us for what it was. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm happy to get a 126, and last year there was a series of 127s, I believe, so this is off to a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
Chex, you're also busy getting ready for the No Logic tournament, right?
That's right. That's next month.
Both of you are very busy boys. Busy gamers.
Yeah, well,
Were you listening along or watching each other while the stream was going, or what was going on in your head when you were focusing and preparing and going through this run?
I was listening.
I'm so sorry.
I generally don't listen. I will like check whenever I have a crystal cutscene or something like that, just to see where everyone's kind of at. After 7 blue balls, I kind of just like minimized it for a while, because I was like, I need to go pretty fast to catch him, or he needs to make a really big mistake, so it doesn't really help me. So I just kind of went with it. I'm glad the victory didn't have anything to do with blue balls here. Is my preference.
Yeah, and now you both have like a week probably till your next race, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Any big Pokemon plans?
Just waiting for that Anders Showdown tournament, so I can.
I will be putting out some information about that hopefully in the next week or so. I'm pretty excited. I want to point out one more fun little thing that I noticed. Both of you, after sweating through parts of the run, decided to cool off a little bit with the exact same dip in Lake Hylia on your way to Flippers.
Oh my goodness. In Zora's domain.
Oh
yeah,
my God,
in Zora's
yeah.
domain. You both were just like, I would just hop in right here. At the same place at different times.
That
Yeah.
one surprised me.
I thought it was fine. I was holding up top left. I thought it was going to be good. I screw up. I have no muscle memory anymore, so it's all gone.
Impossible screen.
Yeah,
That's all the ragging on YouTube that I really have. Dow, did you have any other questions or thoughts?
No, thanks for playing for us. It was fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Runners,
Can't wait to watch it back.
Anything else you want to shout out before we hand it on over?
Thanks,
we need to keep talking for
John.
23 minutes.
No, thank you.
I need something to watch versus Pam versus Chimo. Fox, I can do that. I can talk for a very long time. Do you want me to explain the plot of Kingdom Hearts to you? Because I've done that before.
Wow, that sounds like it's Chex and my time to get the hell out of here.
And with that, I believe
Look at
we
the time.
will hand
Yeah.
it back to our lovely restreamer. Thank you guys again for the amazing match. Dow, thank you so much for joining me and keeping me in check. And chat, thank you for being kind. Make sure you're following these runners. They're both very wonderful humans. Make sure to follow Dow for a plethora of amazing speedruns as well, including Hollow Knight, A Link to the Past, and the occasional Ocarina of Time randomizer.
Very occasional.
Maybe not so occasional as much as hopefully frequent.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, guys.
All right, and make sure to follow our commentators as well, DowTMB and Anders. We got another NMG race coming up in about 22 minutes. That is between, I don't know if let's schedule up. Ham and Shimo, yeah. So because it's only 20 minutes away, I'm not going to go raid a channel, but we will host ZSR4, which is in the middle of the Zelda 2 Randomizer Weekly. I have a few more NMG League races on the schedule tomorrow. Let's see, we've got Stern versus Juxtafer at 6 p.m. Eastern, Casno versus Scruple at 7 p.m. Eastern, and Dwayne versus Foxlisk at 10 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, we got a lot coming up over the next 4 weeks, not just with the NMG League, but a lot more Link to the Past, cross skis, casual boots, and many other tournaments, so stay tuned. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back in 20 minutes or so with more NMG League.